PBC, they did not disappoint. We had new champions being crowned. We have someone retiring. And we had one hell of a main event. Let's get right into it. It's your boy, Tony C, a.k.a. Mr. SMACKLIKEDAAAT. And I'm reporting off this Barclays Center sold-out fight for March 1st. We had headlining Gervonta Tank Davis going against Lamont Roach. But we're going to get to that later. Shout out to Scooter Davis, Shark Season from their Headbangers Gym. Getting that first round knockout. He got 6 wins now, all by way of knockout. Youngin is a problem. I've watched his fights live. Youngin is a problem. And continue to grind, Youngin. Your time to shine is now. Y'all gonna be seeing him again. So hopefully now he can go up to not just being on the prelims, but actually being on that main card. But we'll see. Jarrett Hurd, salute to you, man. You had a wonderful career. Much respect to you. Been watching your fights for a while as well. Another guy from the area. Hey, he went out how you supposed to. While he could still walk, while he could still talk. So salute to you. Jarrett Hurd said after his fight, he gonna go ahead and hang it up. He did not get the win against Gonzalez. He said he's gonna be a man of his word and go and say this is his retirement. So he's now walking off into the sunset. And much love and respect to what you've given to this sport, Swift. Now, let's get on in main card. We had Julian J. Rock Williams. He was trying to make his comeback at 154. He's the one who dethroned the unified champ, Jarrett Hurd. And J. Rock Williams, he ended up losing a blow. And he's been trying to get back ever since. And it just wasn't his night tonight neither. I think Father Time is creeping up on J. Rock Williams as well. His opponent, younger, faster, more proficient and efficient with his shots that he was throwing. And J. Rock still showed ring IQ, was able to cut off the ring, get out of there, but I just think the young guy was too much for J. Rock. So I don't know what is next for J. Rock. Because if, like Joe Gooseman said, if he would have won, people want to be asking him, is he going to retire? So I don't know if J. Rock is at the stage where time for him to retire. Who knows? Next fight, we had Alberto Puello going against Martin. Martin fought over 40 fights. And this is his first shot at a world title. Because he was the mandatory since like 2023, but he's been having to take step aside money so other people could fight for the title. He finally gets his shot against Alberto Puello. And if you ask me, that man did not disappoint. Alberto Puello came out in the end, though, and got the split decision. Like the same time he got the split decision against Gary Antuanne Russell on that Frank Martin card. Do I think Alberto Puello won? It could have been a draw. It could have went either way, I'll say that. So, Alberto Puello was able to keep his title. Martin, much respect, and that man deserves another shot. I hope they rematch that and run it back. We go into the co-main event. We got Capitol Heights own Gary Antuanne Russell going against El Rayo, Venezuela. And all I can say is Rayo showed up, but he ain't show out. No disrespect to him, but he didn't even do what he did against Pitbull to get the title. Gary Antuanne Russell was just straightforward. He backed up a little bit, but most of the time he still was just punching. And El Rayo definitely had a lower punch output than he did against Pitbull. So I don't know what was going on with Rayo, but he just didn't look like the same guy that won the title when he fought, I believe, in LA on that Rayo season card where they had Bud Crawford and Marjorie Marv headlining. He beat Pitbull, but he was no match for Gary Antuanne Russell. For a second, I thought Gary Antuanne Russell was going to either knock him out or they was going to call the fight. In the end, Gary Antuanne Russell is the new WBA champion. All we can say is shout out to him. It's been a long time coming. That Alberto Puello fight, hey, that was a lesson. That wasn't a loss. That was a lesson. And the man came back like he learned his lesson. So get ready to see him probably co-main event another fight for PBC. Because he on his way. He got a belt now. And why not get that fight with Puello to get that get back for a unification fight? I know I want to see that. On to Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Baltimore, DC. DC, Baltimore. Champ versus champ. Lamont moving up to 135 to fight the champ who was 30-0. 28 KOs. Baltimore's own Gervonta Tank Davis. But all I can say is it started the way we thought it would. You know, Tank took first couple rounds off, you know, like Calvin and them say he be downloading. And Tank also had a new chief trainer, Barry Hunter, representing Headbangers. Now, for y'all who don't know, Barry has always been around, but he ain't never been like his trainer. He was just like a person that, you know, his trainers would consult with. And they come from, you know what I'm saying, they cool with each other, long time friends or whatever. So he's been around, but he's never been on the front line with Tank. But in this one, he was. He still had Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny there too, but Barry Hunter was running the show as chief trainer. I told people, my boys from out of town kept saying, who's Lamont? Like, what's this dude Lamont Roach? I said, I'm telling you, as long as he can last, he got a chance. Granted, you can't knock what the odds was against him. Going against somebody who has 28 knockouts, over a 90% KO rating. 9 times out of 10, somebody think the person gonna get knocked out. And I told him, I said, Lamont Roach different. Granted, he from the city, so of course, you know, I'm a rep him. But at the same time, I'm a fan of boxing. All doesn't matter who fighting. And I've seen this youngin fight. I've been following his career for a while too. Youngin is a problem, and he's been a problem. And I'm glad he's getting his shine, and tonight he shined. Now, they said he landed more punches. That's what the stats are showing. He landed more punches than Tank. More body shots than Tank. Tank landed more power punches. So then you ask, okay, what wins the fight? But everybody says when you got a champion, you trying to take that belt, because they was fighting for Tank's belt. I just not sure if he did enough to say, okay, I won the fight. I'm a fan of Tanks and I'm a fan of Roaches. So for them two to go against, I'm like, somebody got to take an L. So I did want to see a W being somebody, regardless of who it was. But for them to get a draw, it ain't what the Barclays Center wanted. Some feel Roach won. Some feel Tank should still be undefeated. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Tank now has a 1 in that draw column. He still haven't had no L's. But he has a 1, so he's not technically undefeated anymore. And you know Tank's counterparts had to say something. But Crawford saying, Lamont Roach won. That's wild how they did that, boy. That was crazy how they robbed him. And in the fight, there was a round where Tank took a knee. He said he had grease from his hair getting done 2 days ago fall in his eye. So he took a quick knee and he ran over to his corner so they could try to wipe the grease out his eye. The ref looked like they started counting to count it as a knockdown, but they ended up not calling it a knockdown. So if they would have called that a knockdown, technically, would that now been Lamont Roach? But you can't say that, because what if the fight went totally different after they did call it a knockdown? Tank stepped on the gas and wasn't as cautious as he was, because he said later in the rounds he was cautious because, I mean, he respected Lamont's power. He respected Lamont's boxing skills. So when you have all that going on, you got to fight smart. I think they both fought smart, and these two fought like people who grew up with each other. You know, a person you play video games with and you know the type of moves they're going to do and all that. Like, that's how they fought. They fought like they've been there before. I think they fought 3 times in the amateurs, and now they fought once in the pros. And they talking about running it back. So, of course, that's something we want to see. Now, granted, they're both winners. They both able to go home to their family and their kids, safe, healthy, and both got a bag off tonight. But I want to tell you who the real winner is. Even though they called it a draw, the real winners are DC and Maryland. I'm going to keep it smiling like that with you. It was for the culture. I'm happy 2 guys that are from somewhere where I'm from to get in the ring, do their thing. Gladiators get in that square circle and show them why our area is known for this boxing and fighting. And they showed out. So shout out to Lamont Roach Jr. and shout out to Tank Davis. Shout out to the Headbangers being on the card. It's a good look for the area, man. And so I was happy for it. Shout out to Gary Antuanne Russell from Capitol Heights getting the strap. Man, it's a great day to be a part of the DMV, young. This one was for the culture. Y'all know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell so y'all know every time that I drop something. And make sure y'all comment as well. Follow me on all my socials right at Smack Like That. Keep a go smack mentality. Ain't too much you can't handle and you can't do. Smack like that!